You are listening to the Starter Girls podcast with Jennifer Loading. Whether you are starting a project, starting a business, starting a brand, or starting a movement, we are here to talk about it. And the Starter Girls show is brought to you by Walt Mills Photographer of Glad Models Agency. If you are here in the Dallas or surrounding area and looking for some photography work, check out Walt Mills. You can learn more about him and his work at photosbywalt.com. And with that, we are going to get things started. Today is a great day to be brave. You might as well start now. You have the power to change your circumstances any day you decide. Let today be that day. Rise up, be amazing, be you, do you. All right, my friends, I am super excited to welcome my guests to the Starter Girls show today. We have Bonnie and Dustin Randle. So, guys, I'm going to tell my listeners a little bit about you, and then we are going to jump in and start talking about what you have going on. All right. So Bonnie and Dustin are the founders of Digital Wayfinders, a coaching and software development company for coaches, course creators, and service providers. You guys are speaking my language, by the way. They are passionate about life transformation and seeing dreams become realities. Their coaching programs and software shortcut and simplify the process of launching and marketing businesses so that their clients and students are able to truly serve the people they are here to serve. They've been married for 14 years and have been building businesses together for 13 of those years. They are proud parents of Robin and Reese, who inspire everything they do. They believe that life is meant to be fully lived and have been very intentional about setting up their businesses in a way that allow them to spend the majority of their time traveling with their children. This year, they are traveling around the United States in an RV, visiting as many national parks as they can, working and schooling in between early morning hikes and breathtaking sunsets. And so I just love the end. So welcome to the show, guys. Super excited to have you here.
Thanks so much for having us.
Yeah, definitely glad to be here.
You guys are going to, in a minute, have to tell me about this whole RVing thing because I'm like really interested to hear how this is all working out. But what I want to do, I want to start off because you guys have been building businesses almost the whole time you've been together, which I think is really impressive. And especially being able to work together and do that because that's a difficult task sometimes. So I want to know, how did this come about for you guys? What were you doing before this? How did this lead up to this?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, I've always wanted to be a entrepreneur. Like that's like even from the very, very beginning of my like childhood, I can remember like, you know, wanting to own my own business and kind of, you know, fall in that pathway. And so when we got married, it really didn't take too long for us to venture out from having a job to like trying to start our own business. So yeah, and we were real fortunate. We were able to get that business off the ground and successful, even in the midst of a poor economy back then. That was like 2008.
Yeah, right when there was started.
So yeah, I mean that's how we got started.
Things they've evolved from there. You know, you learn, you grow, new opportunities come your way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, yeah, we've just since then, we've had 5 successful businesses.
Yeah, we've built about 5 different businesses and have transitioned from different types. So we started with a kind of a local service business here in Dallas. We still have that business actually, and we do it's an IT service company. And then we kind of moved it more into online. We dabbled in different things different things, but now we do primarily I do app development, and then Bonnie and we both do together our coaching business and stuff like that. So
I love it. So I'm guessing, Dustin, you were in IT before you came into this. Bonnie, what were you doing before you got into coaching? Like, how did you get into that?
When Dustin was building businesses, I did have a job. I was working in marketing and I worked as a copy editor. And so when I came on with him, I was doing a lot of his marketing and kind of trying to help out with stuff like that. And when we moved online, we just realized how much we love digital marketing, course creating. I'm kind of a teacher at heart. And so it felt like a seamless transition. We just really picked up on that and just learned so many things along the way. And we started noticing areas where our fellow entrepreneurs were getting stuck. And so a lot of our programs and software were kind of born in that space of wanting to empower other people and make this, journey from like having a dream and seeing it become a reality, really wanting to simplify that process for other people.
I love that. And you and I talked off camera about this a little bit because I am a coach. And that is the thing that, right now I'm in the process of building an online course with somebody. And I'll tell you that building part, that is not my thing. Like, we talk about building businesses when you can bring collective people together that have different skill set. You can be so much more powerful because you're bringing this, this marketing side, you're bringing the IT and that tech part behind there. You can build something up, together. And I think that's great. I love that you guys have been able to navigate through several different things and have really found the thing that you feel like, hey, this is what we really love doing. So let's talk a little bit about this really quick. You kind of touched upon what you're doing, the pain points and stuff. So tell us what this Wayfinders, you said, provides. It's to help people launch their business. Tell us a little bit more specific what it does so people know.
Go
ahead. Okay. So we have we actually have several courses and coaching programs that are all really centered around that. So from the very first moment, like you have an idea, we really help you hone in on what it is that your dream business could look like. We're really big at helping people build businesses that are aligned with their strengths and making sure that people build businesses that they actually want. Like I think that a lot of times people overlook, like, just because a business model might work for someone else, like it may not be your dream business. You might be building a business that becomes a nightmare. And so we're really intentional with our students, making sure that we're helping them implement strategies that are actually going to allow them to build the business that they want to be running, that's going to allow them to be serving in their strengths. And we're really big on life transformation. And so we help our students really determine like the transformation that they are able to bring people, and then we help them develop processes and strategies and methodologies around that transformation. And then we really go into a lot of the nuts and bolts for, how do you put together a course? How do you launch a course? Dustin comes in with all the technology and all the strategy you need. And so I feel like that's kind of Digital Wayfinders really is about helping people navigate that. It's a hard journey to like have an idea and see it really to the place, see it to fruition.
Yeah. And we, in our process, we had to learn a lot of these lessons. And so like it is really a blessing to us to be able to pass that information along and package it in a way that's really easy to digest. And so that's what Bonnie does so well. She's just such a great teacher and is really able to break down the process, in a very understandable way. And so I really love that. And I love that about our programs. That's what we hear a lot of feedback, from our students, saying that it's just really, really done well. So
100%. Yeah, I know. And I agree. When you earlier, you talk about the idea because I'm an idea generator. So absolutely. That is the hardest part is once you have the idea, how do you put that into motion? How do you get that from point A to point B so that you can monetize that and get it out there? Like, sure, I can come up with ideas all day long, and I do. And then I get to that planning phase. And Bonnie and I talked about this, that you guys, again, have this great pair because it's how do you get that specific idea to where it's going to resonate with your audience and you get it out there, right? And I'm going through those pain points right now, so I know. So I love what you guys are doing. But Dustin, I want to ask you this question because you mentioned earlier about you always wanted to have this entrepreneur. So did you grow up in an entrepreneurial space, or was this something that you just at one point decided, hey, I think this would be pretty cool to be an entrepreneur?
Yeah, my parents always really cultivated that in me. My parents had various different things that they did throughout my life, but one thing that they really really focused on building in me was just a desire to learn and to grow, and from the very beginning, like self-development was such a big part of that. I just remember reading like classic self-help, self-development books when I was a little bitty,
Yeah.
When I first could read, really, and just kind of growing up on a diet of that. And my parents were actually in network marketing for a long time growing up in Amway, and so we had the steady stream of the motivational tapes and all that, and honestly, I think they stayed in network marketing for so long, mostly because of me and how much I was getting out of it. And so, I mean, that's kind of how I grew up, and just I definitely attribute a lot of that to that early, like, just desire to really get out there and learn and better myself. So.
Dustin, this is so good because I have so many things. I just interviewed somebody. I interview a lot of people in the network marketing space. I came from that industry. I was in a company. I was a director in a company for 15 years, and then I moved into another company. So something you said, because I have my kids are now, I have two adult children, and my youngest is now 16. And all of my children have been raised in that environment, that exact environment that you are talking about right now. And it's so interesting that we're having this conversation because so many times, I always say more is caught than taught. Kids pick up everything that you do. They don't always let you know. But this is the craziest thing because my kids have been around that environment their whole lives. And sometimes I don't always know that they've picked anything up from it. But I will tell you, every once in a while, I catch them talking to somebody, or I'll see something that they've written or a text, and I'll recognize something I did resonated, like something paid off because they've learned a lesson or two in that journey. So I am so incredibly, I guess, impressed that you had that, you were able to get that, because I think what a great experience for you. Because being in that space, there's really, companies are not like that. They don't have that kind of environment, and people don't have it. And I say this every time on, when I have coaches on here and on this show, that for 20 years, I've been incredibly blessed to have great mentors. Like, I've had leaders and mentors in my life for 20 years who have poured into me what I never had before. They believed in me when I didn't have that. And so that's why we do this on the podcast, because I just take everything I learn and give it to everybody else now, because I know the power in that. So what a testament to your parents to have done that and instilled that, that value of just autonomy and freedom. And you're teaching your kids some great lessons, by the way. Some great lessons. So I want to talk about this RVing you're doing real quick. So tell us about this. How did this come about? What are y'all doing and where are you going?
It's been a long time coming.
It has been a long time coming. Several years ago, I had built and we had built together the IT company up to a certain point where like, it was clear, like, if we only did this, like, we would never leave Dallas. So like part of us was like we got to figure out a way to build more location independence into our business. And so, like, we began the process of doing that. And now, my IT company is almost entirely like remote. I've got a couple of people that help me on site when I need it, but like, I can manage and run that. And then we really just set out several years ago to really focus on any business and any revenue stream that we build from here on out is going to be location independent. And so that's why we started in the digital marketing space. That's why we did a lot of different things, because of that decision that we made. So back then, and really, it's about a year ago, I guess, we started thinking, like, what it would be cool to go and do a tour of the country.
My daughter is in 4th grade, and they have a really amazing program for 4th graders where, like, your 4th grader and their whole family gets into all of the national parks for free. And the national parks have a lot of really fantastic curriculum, like around science and history. And so really, from the time our daughter was in kindergarten, we've been talking about her 4th grade year, like, really wanting to do this.
And it was always one of those, like, kind of dream things, like it'd be cool if we could, or whatever. And then we just found ourselves in this place where it's her 4th grade year now. We have the ability to do it, thankfully, because of some of the moves we made several years ago. And then also COVID happened, and so it was just like we had to push that direction, really almost, so to
pull them out of school this year and just
because that was always the kind of sticking factor, is like, but we don't really want to pull the kids out of school and they'll miss their friends and all that, but they're not in school anyway, so
right.
Yeah.
So I love the location independence. Like, we all talk about that when we have our own businesses, right? Being able to take our business anywhere. I've just never heard anybody say it that way. I like that word. Those two words, location independence. It's a good way to look at it. And it sounds like you guys have done really well. So where are some of the places that you've gone so far?
So we have a to-do list. We want to try this year. We're trying to hit the national parks, which there's a lot of them. And so like as we talk about what are we gonna do next year, a lot like our kids are like, I don't want to go back. Like I just want to keep doing
Yeah.
this. So
Yeah.
we've done we took most of September off and we were in Colorado. There's 3 national parks there, or 4. We did Rocky Mountain National Park, Black Canyon of the Gunnison, and then the Great Sand Dunes. In August, we went up to Kentucky and Tennessee, Arkansas.
And we did the hot springs and Great Smoky Mountain National Park, and
Mammoth
then the
Cave.
Mammoth Cave. So we've gone out on 2 longer trips and hit several national parks during those trips, and we're planning on going back out again fairly soon. We're going to go to Florida next month, so try to
Sounds
probably
amazing.
hit Everglades while we're down there.
Sounds
And Walt Disney.
amazing.
Yeah. So,
That's so awesome. So let me ask you this question, and then we're going to move into some fun questions here. So what do you love about what you get to do? What's the best part of all this?
Oh, that's such a great question. We've been really intentional about making sure everything we do actually leads to the success of our students and like actual life transformation. And so for me, like my favorite aspect of coaching is just getting to hear from our students. We hear a lot, like even though they may have spent thousands of dollars in other coaching programs and like
yeah.
have been at this for years, like things are finally clicking. They're finally like seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. They're actually moving forward. They're actually launching things and like finally getting to step into what it is that they are here to do.
Yeah.
Like really realizing their calling and getting to serve the people that they were made to serve.
Yeah. Yeah, it's about the breakthrough. Like we love hearing those stories of of breakthrough, and whether it's something that we happen to say on a coaching call, or whether it's something that we put in one of our programs or something, like hearing the stories that come back. It's like, oh my gosh, this like totally made it click for me. I've heard this like kind of information multiple times, but like the way that you explained it just made it resonate with me so well. And that's what we love. We love hearing those things, and we love helping our students break through and really move their businesses forward. And like Bonnie said earlier, like it's so often that we hear people, especially in the online business space, or they've been trying for so long, and they're just kind of like just trying to get there, and they're not making the progress that they're wanting, just because they don't know the way. And that's one of the reasons why we named our business Digital Wayfinders, because we want to teach people to learn to navigate for themselves through the online business space. And so that's what a wayfinder does. It finds the way through through the sometimes challenging, sometimes frustrating, but always very rewarding path that is online business. So
You guys got me excited listening to this. Because
awesome.
no, it is there are definite pain points when in the online space it's an area that I know for so many of us that it's like, even when I was in network marketing, everything that I was taught in network marketing was face-to-face contact. It's about building relationships face-to-face. And that's the model that we've done for years. And in the last couple of years, it's moved more so to this online space, which is almost like a whole foreign thing. Like it is completely foreign. Like my kids, I go to do something, I have to ask my 16-year-old, like, help, I don't even know how to do this. Like, hello. Like, I don't know. Like, just fix it. Put it on there for me. Like I've figured out how to navigate YouTube. Like I can get these videos on YouTube, and I was excited about that. So you guys are definitely touching upon an area that I think is a pain point for a lot of people. And I do talk to a lot of coaches. This is actually going to be a really good video, I think, because I've got a lot of friends that are coaches that are in that space that this may very well be something that they're looking for. And I'm going to check you guys out too, because you got me excited about it. So I like what y'all are doing. So I got to ask y'all some fun questions. And these are always my favorite because I get to I think these are the vulnerable ones. They're just fun. So,
Okay.
all right. So let's see. When you guys are not doing your digital course, and I guess RVing, because that's absolutely got to be fun. What else do you like to do for fun?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
we are
travel, obviously.
kind of a kid at heart, and so like literally anytime we land somewhere, if there's fun to be had,
Yeah,
we are going to do it. So whether that's like kayaking, hiking, we rented sandboards and like sledded down gigantic sand dunes.
yeah, yeah. That's one thing about Bonnie is that like there's, I mean, if there's fun out there, she's gonna find it, and so
And we're gonna do it.
You're going to do it.
so I'm a bit more reluctant on that in that specific area, although I've definitely learned to have fun and enjoy the process of doing that with the family and stuff, and so it's always an adventure. It's always something new, whether it's going to the lake and kayaking, or if it's hiking and to a remote mountain or something. So it's just always something. So.
Yeah, no, I love it. You guys seem like you balance each other out. So, it keeps you both in line. A little fun, keep it serious when you need to, right? It always works out. So I think it's incredible. I think I love what you guys are doing. And I know Emily was the one that connected Bonnie and I. And so I remember when she sent me your information to reach out to, she's like, they're traveling in this RV and she's sending me pictures. And I'm like, I was just intrigued by this whole idea that you guys have been able to create this lifestyle, which is an ideal. I know one other person that did this same thing. They lived in Frisco. They sold their house and they just went traveling. Like they had went in a network marketing space, did very, very, very well, took their kids out of school and just ended up, I think they were in Montana for a while. I mean, they were just going all over the place traveling. And so I think what a great adventure. And again, life lessons that you're teaching your children. I think this part is the best part of all of this. So kudos to you on that. All right. So I'm going to skip the dog or cat question because you guys are traveling, but I am going to ask you, what is your favorite food with all this traveling? What is your favorite food?
We actually are traveling with 2 cats and a dog.
Are you traveling with 2 cats? Oh, how fun.
2 cats and a dog.
And a dog?
Yep.
Do the cats and the dog get along okay?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is hilarious.
Actually, of all the animals we could have, they are the best traveling animals that we can have. They're so laid back. So anyway, yeah.
This sounds like something we would do in my house. We probably do the same thing. We have a menagerie. We have traveled with dogs and crates, and I've been there. But I didn't think y'all were doing that. But it makes it fun for sure.
Yeah, it's it's interesting. It's great. I mean, it's great. It comes with its challenges, but it's also good to have the whole family.
The whole.
So. But yeah, the food question though, that's good. We do like to eat, and
it's a lot of grilling. Like, a lot of people ask me, do you ever get do you feel confined? And like, we spend most of our time outside. Like, our RV has an outdoor kitchen and an indoor kitchen, but we're outside a lot, and so we grill a lot of things.
Yeah. I say when we travel, we do eat like at the RV a lot. We cook a lot, and so and part of that's because it's sometimes we're pretty remote or something, and then other times but yeah, we do hit like things that are on local that are like real popular. Like we hit one of the diners, drive-ins and dives places on our last trip. Oh, we did? Yeah. So we try to hit the local places and just kind of see, and if there's something that's particularly good, we do that. So
awesome. Very cool. Okay, so this is going to be a fun question, and either one of you can answer or you both can answer, whatever you want to do. So if you could be a superhero or a character for a day, what would you pick? He's like, Bonnie, that's your question. Bonnie's going to be the superhero or the character for a day because I think she's going to come up with something really good for this one.
Well, I really like Mary Poppins. I'm drawn to that. Like, any situation can be filled with like childlike awe and wonder. And I think so much of this year, like, we've just wanted our kids to experience that, like, to be filled with awe and wonder. And I feel like Mary Poppins is really good at that. So
That is a good one. But I always say that, and that's only because I carry a monster bag around and I have to pull things out. I'm like, let me pull out my Mary Poppins bag. You probably know, when you're a parent, I don't have this so much now that my kids are bigger because two of them do not live with me any longer. But when they were little, everything was in my bag. Like there were diapers, there were bottles, there were everything was in that bag. And I'd be like, let me pull it out of the Mary Poppins bag. Well, there's such a thing called conditioning, right? I still carry a Mary Poppins bag. I have a big purse.
So it's like to have all the things that you need in there.
Yes, I don't have their things. I have everything else in there now. So that's fun. I haven't had anybody come on here and say Mary Poppins, so that was a unique one for the day. So we get all kinds of like superheroes. I've had, of course, Superwoman and Superman. And then every once in a while I get a unique one, which is kind of fun. We get some different ones. But I think it's cool because, it's what resonates with you. And there's always some little piece that aligns with who we are. Like when we think of characters, like who resonates with us. So that was good. All right. So if our listeners wanted to learn a little bit about, this Digital Wayfinders and about you guys, where do we send them?
digitalwayfinders.com.
You'll see that scrolling.
It's kind of the hub of everything, and so we have links on there to different courses in our programs, Dustin software development. We're actually hoping to start a YouTube of all of our travels really soon, and so we'll get that on there as well.
That's fine. And I will say I did go to your page today because I was locating it for this podcast. And I noticed that you guys have social links for both of you on there, which I think is really good. So for our listeners, if they want to learn about either one of you, they can click on either. So I like that y'all got those on there because I was going to put them on here and I'm like, oh my goodness, no, they got them on both. So just go to their website. They're all on the bottom down there. So great job, Dustin, setting that up.
Yeah.
It's awesome. All right. Well, I want to tell you, Dustin, Bonnie, thank you for being on here today. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for sharing your story. Happy RVing. And yes, get your YouTube up so we can see it. I think that'd be fun. We'd like to see your adventures. Some of us don't get to go on all these RV adventures. So I think it'd be fun to see what you guys are doing. And congratulations for being able to do that. I think that that's incredibly just awesome. I guess I just want to say awesome. So
thank you. It was so nice to talk to you. Thanks for having us on here.
Yeah, thank you. And so to our listeners, of course, if you love our show, please be sure you give us a rating on iTunes. And then we are on Amazon and iHeart now. So check it out. And then hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Like I said, I did figure out how to work the YouTube. And then with that, I do want to leave you guys with a final thought. As human beings, it is our general belief that successful people are special and that they are born destined for greatness. It is just too difficult to comprehend that the main thing that separates those people from us is not anything particularly special. It is simply their mindset and habits. And that is by PG Manifold. So you guys take care, be safe, and be kind to one another. We'll see you next time.